Welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This June 7th. Great to see all of our members inside our live trading room. John, Bill, Kathleen, Grant, Andre, Vic, Michael, Mike C joining us here as well. We have Phil and a lot of us joining us right now this afternoon. Great to have all of us there. Great to have all of us back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. First and foremost for all of us here, just hey, make sure you go right to our YouTube channel. We've been posting a bunch of different videos from our Traders Talk workshop. We did that just exclusively in the Cyber Group room yesterday. Posted a couple of tiny little 2-minute, 3-minute clips there, a couple of shorts as well. So go right to our YouTube channel first and foremost, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend as well. And hey, make sure you press the like button with that too. But with that said, though, going into the afternoon trade, there's really just one stock that we've had our eye on the whole time. There were a couple from the morning, but with the market dropping off, a lot of those ended up dropping off with the market, except really one. PAC-W, right? So first and foremost, let me ask us here in the chat board, in the Cyber Group room for Mike, Phil, Ryan, and all of us here, just otherwise, is anyone still in this trade from the early afternoon, from earlier in the morning as well? If you are in this trade right now, PAC-W, let me know. Let me know if you're in this right now live. It's been a nice move across the early to mid-afternoon, really from the morning session as well. I know Elizabeth was in it just earlier. Kathleen took some good money on it earlier. She's not in it currently. Brian also took some money on it earlier. He sold it. Dave sold it as well earlier. But Vic's still in it. I think Elizabeth's still in it as well. Perhaps one or two more otherwise. Now, hey, if you're still in this trade, let me just ask you, because there's really very few prices that we've been calling out in our chat board today. Where is our next resistance for Vic and Elizabeth and all of us just otherwise that may be in this trade? What's the level that we've been shooting for really across the early afternoon, we'll say? It was a thought in the morning. We'd called it out really early in the morning. It was a thought, not really like a direct. But the more a stock pumps up, then you start to add one and one together and get four, right? No, I'm kidding with that. But yeah, like Vic and Sam saying 972. 972. Essentially like a little doji right here on the weekly chart back from April. Look at that, 974 open, 971 close. Yes, for any of my tech analysis purists out there, it's not the same price. I know that. But for a weekly close and for it to be, after such a sharp drop, well, that plays in part with a historical level to follow. So I think that's a big level to work off of going into not just this afternoon, but perhaps for tomorrow morning, if this ends up gapping up higher. So PAC-W, PAC-West, a stock that we are very familiar with inside our live trading room. Certainly today. If you're not familiar with it now, you are certainly at this point. So we're going to put this on our main list. Really good stock to follow. Nice side list stock to just keep in mind day to day. And it was up big this morning. It was up a decent amount. So that's where you kind of start with it, and hopefully it makes that big move shortly after. And thankfully it did, right? There was just really no letting go of the gas pedal on this, at least across the afternoon so far. All right, so Ryan calling out Tito's also. I saw that earlier. A bit of a wacky shakedown at first, though. Let me just go to that in just a little bit here, Ryan. What we'll do is go from top to bottom. A couple of different stocks up big, but are they really up like this right now, like near the highs, ready for another day trade type of breakout into the market close? So we'll start off with the top here. Farm up 63%. You tell me if you want to get stuck watching this here for the meantime, because if you've been stuck watching it for the last hour and a half, 2 hours, then unfortunately you missed out probably on a bunch of money on PAC-W. Same with this YEXT trade, very thin volume on the book for this one. I mean, the farm trade actually had a really nice pop in pre-market. Good push after the market had opened up. But yeah, right now I just think this one definitely too flat. Now, MGOL. Is this the one, Brian, you were talking to me about here? I get my tickers mixed up here. I don't think it is. I'm going to get to Brian's private chat here. No, MODG, that was it. Okay, so MGOL, nice little push here for this cheapie. Ended up spiking up as high as nearly $2, 195 the high. It's making a little second wind type of move here. I'm not fully convinced on it, though. Typically for a pop and drop, you see a second wind type of move like this. It ends up reversing, pulling right back down pretty quick. Don't get caught sleeping there. Stitch Fix, hey, had a nice pop after the market had opened up. So this was coming off earnings from yesterday. So this one could have been a lot more anticipated. Listen, we had Carvana on our list, Tito's, Palantir, obviously Farm, and Coinbase we haven't even spoken about yet. It's easy for this one to slip through the cracks. It was up big from yesterday, but it was flat in pre-market here. So, granted, if you were watching it at the open, you had a really to capitalize, catch a good pop, and then it pulled back a bit of support before moving up higher. Just right now, at least for this afternoon, not really looking as good. Same with CJet here for the time being. Pass on that. Dave and Buster's, another one off earnings yesterday. Big pop similar to the Stitch Fix. MBOT, interesting. MBOT, nice little pop just heading into the early afternoon. I didn't really catch this until right now. I didn't notice this. Maybe Rich had called it out before. But, I stepped away from my desk a couple times throughout the day, coaching just elsewhere and not always looking at every trade. So this is actually my first look on this stock today. MBOT, it's trying to make a move back up right now, actually. I'll write it down for the side list. MGOL, MBOT. Any other M's out there on the watch list we'll put on the side? Maybe this MCRB while we're at it. This one doesn't look half bad. Actually looks main watch list material for right now, this MCRB. Nice cheap stock, really good liquidity, only trading about like 3.5 million shares so far on the day. That's not a terrible amount. That's not like a lot, really. So actually, I like this trade here to put on the main list. Keep it going, Ryan. Your Tito's. Nice little pop earlier, but there's the aforementioned shake. And since it's just been a little flat, I mean, perhaps this could look to fill more of the gap from the big gap down it had back from yesterday, from Monday afternoon. Perhaps that could have been, but you know what? I'll put it on the side. Maybe I'll just add this at the end. Just I want to go through everything else first. Wouldn't be high risk for us to put this on our main list, but just see if there's anything looking just a lot better. All right, let's see what else we got here. UCAR, a little pop-up earlier for this trade once again. This one ended up popping all the way up towards like $15. I think that I forgot about that part. This thing wasn't just a runner up to like $8 or $9. This broke way higher from last week and then dumped off pretty hard. So this looks big, but not nearly as big as what we had from last week. And if this is the second win type of move, so to say, then I feel like this is pretty much finished up at this point here in the afternoon. So. All right, Roku up big. I didn't catch that until now. Roku, I guess, coming off earnings. That would be my just loose guess. I don't really know, but led to a big pop early on this morning, 65 up to 70, 5-point move. Then pretty much like, I don't know if this is measured as much to be exactly $5, 67, 62. Oh, it's pretty darn close. So, yeah, I mean, this made a 5-point move at the open, and then it pulled back, made another 5-point move later on, just about. That was a pretty slick run for Roku here today. Could have been a great option play there. Now for the afternoon, though, making a lower high. So could be a good side list stock for remainder of this week, but I'll pass on here for the afternoon. Let's hop over to the losers list. Actually, before I do, looking over at the chat board right now. Lewis grabbing my attention here on Mavis, MVIS. Yeah, I forgot about that up. We called it out just before, but I didn't mention it during this meeting, I don't think. So MVIS up nearly 10% once again and making another big push. I don't know what the hell is going on with this company here, but when are they going to pull back, right? I mean, hey, I don't think it's a good swing trade at this stage. It's already pumped up so much. But even as a day trade, it's shocking that this is still providing day-over-day opportunities for runs. So, yeah, definitely good call. Add this right back to our list. All right, so let's hop over to the loser side right now, seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better. You'd want to see Pac West make a big pop over 9.25 coming up momentarily. $9.25 for Pac West. Needs to do that sooner than later, I'd say. Doof, what happened here? MOND. I don't know. The stock just took a huge hit here earlier today. I'm just curious. It's hard to borrow on my platform, but looks like it's had some pretty big historical support dating back to just maybe like a month or two ago, but interesting if you can short it. But otherwise, we'll see what else we got. UNFI, Scott had called out a little pop earlier on this. I don't know how much of a pop you got. I mean, this already made a nice dead cat bounce. I just think this thing's washed up at this point. Not really looking to trade low volume, low liquidity. And keep it going, though. With the market dropping off, I mean, perhaps there could be more room to the downside here across the major indices and a couple of good shorts out there. NETs at the low of the day. But, hey, buy puts on it. Be a lot cheaper than trading the equity. This is pretty thin, so I'm putting this on our list more as an option play than anything. It's very thin given the price. So, just if you can trade some puts on this, then see if this could break lower. It looks like it's ready to coming up, but over time, I'd say you got a lot of time until the close, about an hour and 20 minutes. So probably think around like 3 o'clock, 3:15 Eastern time, that could materialize better. Net, we got Path, both looking pretty good just to follow with the market heading into the afternoon. Snowflake's gonna be a little expensive. This thing is tanking though. So big drop back down for Snow, and just getting a little far out the price range there. If anything, DDOG, I could add that too. I guess it's like right there. All right, so folks, I think that's just about it. I guess I'll add Datadog here, DDOG at the back end, but that'll wrap up. Let me know if there's anything else up or down that I may have missed. Perhaps something making a big pop going against the grain here, but honestly, I think really one of the better ones to work off of was that Pac West trade. Again, Mavis is still in contention, and MCRB is as well. But otherwise, it's a mixed bag. A couple of good shorts to work with going into the close. And again, for this trade here, you'd want to see it break over 925 a little bit sooner than later. Hey, our window of opportunity started closing as soon as the market opened up, if you think of it that way. So, we're working off fixed time, limited time here. The longer this consolidates from this point, the less time it has to make that big pop up to that 972 that I was looking for. So, keep that in mind heading into the afternoon, 925 first, then we'll see if it can make the better push going into the close. Let me know if there's anything else, folks. I'll go to YouTube, Facebook Live, all of our social streams here before we finish up. And as always, actually, before I wrap up here, I'll post my email for you folks there, josh@c2trading.com. That's the handle. Any questions or trades you want to send over, feel free to let me know. Check out the MGOL trade. Look at this, trying to make another push here once again. So didn't go back down, didn't flop back down quickly after, or at least just yet. Still got a lot of time for that to happen. MBOT hanging in there for the time being. It's up over 17%. It's only trading about 1.9 million shares. That is a lot compared to what it typically trades, at least here. Had a big pop back from like a week ago or maybe a couple days ago, that could have been, or whatnot. I think that was a couple weeks ago. But nevertheless, I mean, outside of that, the thing trades low volume. So I'd be pretty suspect of this MBOT trade. And then lastly, Tito's. We are familiar with this stock, so it is grinding back up. This one will make the cut. Tito's makes it. All right, so folks, that's going to do it here for me today. So again, for all of us on social media, just if you're interested in joining our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the green banner below, just on the bottom of the stream, to get yourself set up and started. For Leda, for Grant, Sam, Vic, Ryan, Dave, Kathleen, and all of us just there live, I'll be in the chat board up until 3:30. So if there's anything that you see, call it out. I'm going to be on a coaching call with one of our students, Michael, heading into 3 o'clock at least. So if there's anything that we see, we'll look to call it out as well. All right, folks, chat with you soon. Take care.